Here we go with the semi-finals of the men's 200 metres. Wilson in lane 3 doesn't start, but it's still a fabulous lineup. Clarence Munyai, African junior champion 2 years ago. He's run 19.69 at altitude. Rashid Dwyer won the Commonwealth title in Glasgow, made the semis in London 2 years ago. Can he go one better? Durham Richards is the reigning Commonwealth champion. Bronze in London 2 years ago. He's got a nice outside lane and he can fly off that bend. Aaron Brown made the 100-metre final. Multiple relay bronze medalist on the global stage for Canada. Having a good season. Adam Jamili, 20.06 in qualification. He looks relaxed. He's good enough to make the final. Can he prove it right now? Ramil Guliev, the defending champion, the European champion. 19.76, 19.86 this season. Lane 3's empty, and we jump to Sergei Smelik, 10 times a national champion for Ukraine, on the inside in lane 2. So, the first of 3 semi-finals in the men's 200 metres. Munyai in 8, Dwyer... Munyai in 9, Dwyer 8, Richards 7, Brown 6, Jamili 5, Guliev 4, Smelik in 2. The defending champion, Ramil Guliev, is in lane 4. Watch for Jamili outside him, and Richards in 7. This is a loaded field, and only 2 are coming back for the final tomorrow night. This is going to need a composed performance. Brown has got away well, coming up onto the shoulder of Richards. And Jamili with a little bit to do on the inside. Ramil Guliev's got to come from miles back here. Jamili in charge. Brown trying to hang on. Jamili and Ramil Guliev. But my goodness me, the defending world champion had a huge amount to do. Adam Jamili looks very, very good value for that place in the final. And the man who'll be playing a waiting game is Aaron Brown, who came through for 3rd. Disappointment for Durham Richards there, 20.28. There are 2 non-automatic spots, but that might not be quick enough. That was a brilliant bend from Jamili, and Guliev had to work so hard down the home straight. Not what we were expecting to see from the defending champion.
No, that was a loaded semi-final. Obviously only 2 guaranteed to go through. A lot of the men now just looking up at the screen, trying to see the results. But it was Jamili who had a great start. He worked so hard round that bend. He actually came off the turn really, really well. And he had a couple of meters up at that point, didn't he? You can actually see that he's blowing out. He's working his arms all the way to the line as the fight is on for that 2nd automatic qualifying. This was Adam Jamili at his best, but he's working hard. He knows he just can't guarantee to get that position in the final. He had to work all the way to the line to get that, but he can start to enjoy himself now. He's actually just moving over to the side of his lane, which isn't ideal, but he had such a good transition off the bend. I'm wondering whether that actually propelled him onto the outside of his lane.
I knew he was in really good shape when he ran that 20.08 into a 1.3 metre headwind at the British Champs. That was impressive again from the Briton. Adam Jamili with a season's best. Guliev, the defending champion, cannot leave the others that much of an advantage in the final. Brown and Richards will have to wait and see.
Now the camera pans slowly across the Khalifa Stadium, and into view comes one of the superstars of world athletics. The 4th fastest man in history over the 200 metres. Noah Lyles of the USA. Smack bang centre of the field in lane number 5. As we say, only finished 2nd in his heat as we meet the athletes from the outside. Canada's Brendan Rodney has the outside lane, a world and Olympic relay bronze medalist in a 4x1 team. Season's right for the lifetime's best of 1996. He's in the sub-20 club. Inside him, Carlos Martinez, a Pan American bronze medalist recently in Lima from the Dominican Republic. There's an empty lane in 7. Miguel Francis of Great Britain isn't starting, so Ji Zhen-Ye, the Asian record holder with 19.88. 2 times 4th place in the World Indoor Final. But here he is, the man from Gainesville, Florida. His first senior global champs. A roar of expectation from Noah Lyles. Alex Quinones, the Pan American champion from Ecuador. World ranked number 5 this year. He's certainly alerting people to his name this year. 1987, his lifetime best set this year. Andre Hughes, who was initially disqualified but has been reinstated after appeal, so he takes lane 3, a 20.41 man, based in Florida. And right on the inside, Esiosa De Salu of Italy, who was second at the European Team Championships. But all eyes on Noah Lyles in lane number 5. 19.50, his lifetime best. Didn't contest the 100 meters, of course. The man that won the 100, his rival Christian Coleman, isn't contesting the 200 meters. With his first senior major global championships, Noah Lyles, having looked just okay in the heats, can he turn it up a notch or two here and fire a warning to the others? Rodney on the outside, Martinez, Ji, Lyles, Quinones, Hughes and De Salu. So away they go. Lyles out modestly on the inside of him. Going well is Quinones in the very early stages, but now Lyles up and running. He does take time to get up to his top speed, of course, but when he hits his speed, here he goes. Lyles from Quinones and from Ji of China. These 3 away from Rodney on the outside, and Noah Lyles managing the race nicely, just working and pushing out towards the end. 19.86, the winning time for Noah Lyles, who sails through to the final. Job done for the American, the favourite for the title. Doesn't look to have exerted himself too much. Quinones, an excellent run in second, 19.95. Ji, 20.03, just missing out on those 2 automatic qualification places, but at the moment Ji's time would get him through as a time qualifier. But Lyles through as the winner of semi-final number 2.
Wow, those times, a sub-20-second performance. But Lyles had to do that. He got put under so much pressure down that home straight. We can actually see there, he runs a great turn, but that's where all the action is, in the center. He's pulling away at this point, but Quinones from Ecuador just is working really, really hard. He makes Lyles just have to not be able to relax too much. These are great side images of Lyles. He's in the motion now, he's floating, but this is where we'll actually see he has a threat on his inside, he has a threat on his outside, and he can't ease off. He has to go all the way to the line.
You just thought he was looking at about 30 or 40 meters to go. He was almost looking for the opportunity to try and ease off, but you're right, Jen, he looked left and right, and he will have seen in his peripheral vision that certainly Quinones was a threat on his inside, and maybe having eased off in the heat and lost first place, he was conscious this time to make sure he won, took the victory and got himself a good lane in the final, with 1 stacked semi to come. We talked about the first one being stacked. Well, heat 3 of 3 is stacked as well. That is coming next. Some of the chief rivals of Noah Lyles will have seen that or will have heard about that, and now will try and lay down their challenge. Noah Lyles the winner, sub-20 in a semi-final round, 1986 from Quinones, 1995, and at the moment Ji's 20.03 would be enough to get him through.
Anaso Jobodwana lines up on the outside in this 3rd semi-final of the men's 200 meters. Bronze medalist 4 years ago. Tamir Burnett made the semis of the 100 surely he's going to need a new lifetime best if he's to come in the top 2 here. It's absolutely stacked, this semi-final. Kyle Groh looked really impressive in qualification. Commonwealth finalist last year. He's coming back to his best at just the right time. So too's this fella, Andre de Grasse, bronze medalist in the 100, overcoming all the hamstring problems. 3 Olympic medals, remember, 3 years ago. Can he get himself into another major showdown? The European 100-meter champion, Hughes, 5th in this event 4 years ago. He too coming back to some decent form. Johan Blake is the 2nd fastest in history over the 200 metres. That was a long time ago, but he made it through to the 100 final and wasn't too far away from the medals. Rainier Mena made the Pan American final, former World Youth silver medalist over the 1 and 2 a few years ago. Talented Cuban. And Divine Oduduru, World Junior silver a few years ago. 19.73 this year, 3rd fastest in the world. But I wonder whether he's just a little bit overcooked. Those times came a long while ago. That 19.73 was back very early in June. Only 2 joining the best of the rest in the final. Johan Blake in 4, Zarnell Hughes in 5, de Grasse 6, Kyle Groh in 7, and Job Adwana on the outside, looking to get back to close to his lifetime best, which is 19.87. Absolutely loaded, this semi-final. PA announcers asking for hush. The 3rd and last semi-final of the men's 200 metres. Well, we got just enough silence from the Ethiopians in the crowd to get this race underway. Johan Blake has put Zarnell Hughes under a little bit of pressure. Good bend, and what a second 50 from Andre de Grasse. De Grasse under control at the moment. He's head and shoulders away from the rest. De Grasse from Groh. Zarnell Hughes will have to wait to see whether he gets one of the 2 non-automatic times. They're currently held at 20.03 and 20.20 with Aaron Brown. De Grasse is right back in shape. And what a brilliant qualification from Kyle Groh. Hughes will not make it as one of the 2 non-automatic qualifiers, which means we'll have 2 Canadians in the final, Andre de Grasse and Aaron Brown. They were both in the 100 showdown, and that was very impressive from de Grasse. So we've got Lyles, Quinones, Jamili, Guliev, and we'll also have this fella, Kyle Groh, Trinidadian, coming back to form.
It was a great run, wasn't it, from de Grasse there in lane 6. Out in lane 8, it was actually Burnett of the Netherlands who started really well, but this is where de Grasse came into his running. He can make that turn his own, and you can see how close he is to the inside of his lane there. It shows he's not wasting any energy, not running any further than he needs to. This is where he just really accelerates. He just finds a metre, and he extends it to 1.5 meters, now 2 meters, and this is where he now shuts down, has a little look around, and I think de Grasse is back. 1 medal already, maybe he can add another one.
Andre de Grasse is into the final once more. He's got a taste for the podiums again, just as he did in Rio 3 years ago. Wonderful run from Kyle Groh. Hughes will miss out.